We have some very triumphal news. This is very self-indulgent, so please, everybody stick with us. Let's put this up there on the screen. I think you guys are going to like this. Let's put it up there. Which is that Breaking Points with Krystal and Saagar, the show that you're watching or possibly listening to. I need to remember to describe things better in order for our large now listening audience. We are now the #1 political podcast in the country. This is insane. It literally has blown me away. The top of the Spotify charts and Apple, or as well as Apple. Blowing out Pod Save America. Sorry, Jon Favreau. And there we go. And we went ahead and pushed that icon of us at up 1 and the daily down 1.
Yeah.
That is seared into my brain as one of the best things.
I'm gonna get like a tattoo of that.
I literally should. I mean, it's just so incredible. I was looking today. Apparently, we're the #3 podcast on all of Spotify, behind Rogan and then some like wine mom like murder mystery thing.
That thing's actually kind of cool.
I'm sure. I'm sure it is. Okay,
it's a true crime thing. It's like historical true crime. Anyway.
No hate on the wine moms, but so be it. It's just. I think what the success of the show, at least so far, has shown is that people are so sick of the corporate media. That really is what it was. Is that our message of saying like we need to hate each other less and hate the corrupt ruling class more has resonated in ways that like I did not even think humanly possible in order to manifest itself at the top of the charts like this. And people are beginning to take notice. That's the fascinating part. All of a sudden, people from out of the woodwork, people who would hate our politics normally, who did their best not to acknowledge Rising, and more like, oh, congratulations. Oh, like, what an amazing thing you guys have built. And I'm like, yeah. Like, I know your game, Suits.
Hashtag
like,
no new friends.
Yeah, exactly. No new friends. We've got our breakers. What do we call? You guys.
We got to figure this out.
BP
Breaking Point
Army
Nation,
is another one that I've heard.
I don't know. You guys float some ideas.
I kind of like the Army one, personally. But anyway, we've got you guys. We've got our fans. They're the only people that we actually need. But looking and saying what this says, I think, about the hunger for a new type of media, for a new type of politics that we both really do stand for, I've just been absolutely blown away. And beating the New York Times is one of the most satisfying things that has ever happened in my entire life. So thank you.
Well, we asked you guys to help us beat CNN, MSNBC, and Fox News.
Right.
We didn't know that it was possible on the list of asks to be like,
we don't even write.
Can you help us beat the New York Times? We were like, we're going to go ahead and make sure you beat the New York Times, the Pod Save Bros, Bannon, all those people.
And Steven Crowder.
I didn't know he had such a big following.
I didn't know he had such a big following. Oh, I knew the guy was big on YouTube, but like, Matt. Anyway, I guess props, Steven. Good for you.
I guess he's doing well for himself. Anyway, but we're beating him, so no big deal. It actually, so to take it a little bit out of the just self-indulgent go us, because this really is like, we asked you guys to help us beat some of these mainstream outlets, and you've already helped us to do that. So thank you, #1. And then, the Vanguard guys, and I don't know if you guys ever watch them on YouTube, but I think they do a really good job, Gavin and Zach. They made this comment that I thought was really interesting, which I hadn't even really particularly thought of, but I actually think it is really true. They were saying, what Krystal and Saagar did is they were able to use these like corporate mainstream organs to build something, and then we're able to like take that thing independent. Yeah. So that very rarely happens. You're starting to see it happen more and more. So you might point to like Iglesias could be an example where
it happens on the individual writer level for Substack and stuff like that. But it has not happened for a show yet.
Exactly.
Before us.
And a show that is at least attempting to sort of compete in these mainstream spaces as well. So I do think that part of it, I find it exciting. I hope you guys find it exciting too. I think you probably do. But I got to tell you guys, I mean, neither one of us expected. We were hopeful, we're excited, and we kind of had resigned ourselves to like, whether it's really successful or moderately successful or not that successful, we have to just care about the content that we're putting out and that we're living our values, and like that's the core thing. So we'd really set our expectations for, as long as we're putting out into the world the thing that we want to, that's true to ourselves, and that we truly have like the artistic and creative and journalistic freedom to go where we need to go, then the results will be what they're going to be. Like, you can't obsess over those things. So we are truly blown away to see those kind of numbers. Neither one of us, in my wildest dreams, did I expect to see those kind of numbers and that kind of response. So You guys blew me away. What can I say?
You're right. And it's true. Actually, I was prepared for a world where this was less successful than Rising. And because I was like, hey, we're going to be talking a lot more about the deeper issues. We're going to be longer. It's not going to be as like in the news cycle,
the
so to speak.
algorithm is going to screw us on YouTube.
The algorithm could screw us on YouTube. I mean, when you're fully independent, like, there's not that much separating from you from some dude in the basement. But all that being said, the hunger, I think, for what we're trying to do, at least, it gives me a lot of hope about some of the future and the ways we can continue to build, continue to improve here for all of you, for everybody who showed up and became a premium member here for Breaking Points. Like it allows us the ability to build the best possible product that we possibly can, true to the two of our values. That's just the greatest thing ever. I remember leaving here on Tuesday and I texted you, I was like, I'm exhilarated.
Yeah.
Like, we just talked, it flowed. Like we designed it the way that we wanted. The topics were perfect. They were so true to the things that we care about. Even today, I mean, IRS, Virginia politics. I mean, these things, they flow together and fuse together in a way that you're not gonna hear any of this on any corporate news channel. And I think they're so dramatically important. And at least what I think we both really want is to try and speak to the things that are in people's lives. I said this before, people know that the system is rigged. People know the media is lying to you, but they can't explain exactly how, exactly why, exactly what conditions. I kind of view it as our responsibility to serve as the actual role of the media in order to tell you, like, here's why you're being screwed. Here's why Jeff Bezos pays not just less in taxes than you on an effective rate, but like 50,000 times less than you. This is why you can't buy a house. This is why whenever you go and you vote or you're part of a union and you can't get anybody else in order to join you, this is why. Right. It's because of these types of politics. This is why the country and economic policy moves the way it does, despite the fact that 80% of people may support some sort of policy. So really, it's just been absolutely amazing. And thank you, everybody, for bearing with me on some catastrophic dental surgery. You might be able to tell.
You've done a good job.
I hope so. And actually, all of the success yesterday, while I was in the surgery chair for 7 hours, I was just sitting there, I had nothing else to do. So I was just sitting there refreshing our numbers, and I was just like, all right.
I'm gonna be okay. Yeah. No, you've been hanging tough. I'm very impressed.
Thanks, guys.
Actually.
Appreciate it.
But no, we love you guys so much. Keep sending in your comments and your feedback. We really want to continually improve. We're going to continue to sort of workshop the look and the feel and the flow of it. But we both, even in these very early days, have found it so liberating. And it's kind of one of those things where, we had our reasons for wanting to leave the Hill, but I don't even think you realize some of the things that are constraining you until you truly sort of like break free of it. And so the format of the show and the feel of it and the topics and the length length of time we're able to spend on it and just the freedom and flow of the format has already felt it feels incredibly liberating. So thank you guys for kind of catching us when we took that leap of faith. We couldn't be more grateful.
Seriously. And we hear you on some of the other stuff, 1080p. Let me just explain what exactly is going on.
Oh yeah.
Which is that, here's the deal. We promised our premium members and everybody else that it was going to get up as soon as possible. Now, we are being smacked, and maybe if you know a solution around this, with horrible processing time, because our show usually runs around, what, an hour and 22 minutes?
Yeah, something
so
like
we
that,
wrap around like 10:30 by the time, some edits, stuff like that. By the time you export in Premiere, which takes a long time, you're looking at maybe 20 to 30 minutes of processing time for a video. That's just not enough for an hour, 22-minute video. So I was like, okay, let's just go to 720p and make sure it gets up faster. So I'm gonna explore some other options. I'm gonna do my absolute best. But one of the things is that we didn't want to compromise on time.
Yeah.
People like the show. I mean, I guess tell me, like, if you were a premium member and you would rather wait a half hour, we can do that. Maybe we could do Vimeo first, and then you can watch on Vimeo, and then maybe you can watch on unlisted YouTube channel. I'm thinking about it, but like I said, absolutely hear you on that.
Yeah.
We hear you on the audio as well. We're working on it. The producer track won't be in the show for today. Any other administrative things that we're doing?
No, I think that's it. I think the bottom line is like, we're trying to weigh all these pieces to give you guys the best experience possible. So when you provide us feedback with like, hey, actually, we'd prefer you to, if there's a trade-off here, we'd prefer this choice versus that choice. Like we prefer the 1080p versus like getting it as fast as possible. We do weigh into all of this, the type of feedback that you're giving us. So
there you go.
Thank you guys.
We'll get you 1080p as fast as
We're going to work on it, all right?
I promise.
We'll figure out what we can.